Guitar tips, just the tips, just for you. Guitar tips. Hello and welcome to Guitar Tips. My name is Adam Levy, and I am the senior tipper here at Guitar Tips HQ. Welcome. Guitar Tips is my weekly video blog series. I post a brand new tip here each and every Friday. Just the tips, just for you. If you've been watching lately, have you been watching lately? Are you a subscriber? You ought to be a subscriber. It's very easy. Big red bar down below. Click on that, that's it. It's not a particularly exclusive club. There's no secret handshakes. You just click and you're in, and welcome. Anyway, if you've been watching lately, you may know that I am in the midst of a series, a 7-part series about the melodic minor scale, and it's called Let's Demystify the Melodic Minor Scale. That's Let's Demystify the Melodic Minor Scale, and this here tip is part 5. And since it's part 5, we will be looking at the 5th mode of the melodic minor. So let's start with a melodic minor scale. Let's start with A. So we'll use A melodic minor. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. So those are the notes, and if we want to make the 5th mode, we just start on the 5th degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E. So now we're going to play the notes of A melodic minor, but starting on E and considering E as the central note here. So that's E. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. E, D. That's interesting. Now, normally if we're in the key of E, there's a D sharp, but here we're using D natural because remember we're using the A melodic minor notes with E as our new do, okay, our new tonic, our new central note. So as we come down, we've got this D, so that's a flat 7, meaning normally in the key of E, the 7 would be D sharp. Here it's D natural, so that's a flatted 7th of the key from the key. And then C, again, normally in the key of E, we'd have C sharp. And here we have D natural, C natural. So a little bit of tension there. And then on the rest of the way down, it's just kind of like an E major scale. So it's pretty and bright on the bottom and then dark on the top. And when you put that all together, that's going to give us some kind of E7 chord. We know that because it's got a natural 3rd and a flatted 7th. And then what else does it have? It's got E, that's the tonic. It's got F sharp, that's the 9. So it's some kind of E dominant 9 chord. And 3, 4, 5, flat 6. So it could be E9. Flat 13 on top. Interesting sound. Yeah, really interesting. 9 on top here, flat 13 below 9. Here's flat 13 above 9. So here's 9 on top, flat 13 underneath. So when would you use that, actually? That's an interesting question. What about if you had a chord progression that went A major, E7, A, E7, and you wanted to just get a little bluesy on the 5 chord? You could play A major over A, and then over that E7 you could play A melodic minor, and then major. It's sort of deceptively seems like it might be the whole tone, but it's not really that. It's so that's kind of like the bluesy note on A. So we could play on that 5 chord, we can get, so we're kind of playing really with the tension between major and minor by going melodically back and forth between A major and then A melodic minor. But we're not going to the full altered dominant sound. That'll come in a different episode. So it's not altered dominant. It's different. Altered dominant. When we get there, we'll have flat 9 and sharp 9 and flat 13. Here, the only real tension is the flat 13, but we have a natural 9. Okay, so that's the sound. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm just trying to make it crystal clear. Also, I'm recording this very late at night, so I am a little bit loopy. So experiment with this. I was thinking a neat place to use this sound could be in the bridge to All the Things You Are. So if you know that tune, standard key is A flat. I'll just play through until the bridge, and then I'll show you the part that I mean. Now we're at the bridge. Now, okay, here's the interesting part. So there's a little kind of modulation here. It goes from E major, we want to get back to F minor. And the way that Jerome Kern, the composer, gets us from E major back to the original key of F minor, which is the relative of A flat, is through a C chord that's got that A flat in it on the. And now I'm putting the 9 on top. So it's different from this very heavily altered C7 chord here. It's just a very kind of bright sounding C9 chord, but with that A flat on top, or in the middle actually, if you put the D above it. But as composed by Jerome Kern, there'd be the lingering note there. So bridge again. That's a nice place to put that. You could again use a big altered. We'll get to altered in week 7. That's our alter dominant mode, but I like to play a little brighter sound there. That's another place you could do it. On the very last 5 chord, it's got a 9 in it, and you could just make that a pretty 9, E flat 9, and back to A flat, or it could have the 9 and the flat 13. It just makes it a little bluesy. I mean, it's a bluesy, old-fashioned-y sound more than it's a 1959 New York City Blue Note Records sound, and that's perfectly good sound to use. And I hope that you will. I hope you'll experiment with it. I'm not going to play any hot licks for you at the moment. I'll leave you to discover your own. You could go back and look at the last 4 episodes. I do. There's some lickage in there. See if you can find a way to make it work with this mode in some different keys. And just experiment, try different intervals. If we go back to the A minor as our parent scale, get to know it. Now with the 5th mode, E, you could play thirds, play sixths, play sevenths, actually, sorry, that's ninths, but those are neat too. Sevenths is what I said. Those sound like this. See what? Do you know what I mean when I say seventh? I'll take a note here that's in the scale, and I'll play 7 notes up from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So E and D. That's a 7th. F sharp to E. Play seconds. That's a good way to get to know the harmonic possibilities, is just to try different intervals. And then you could mix it and match them. You could play a second and a second and then a 7th or something like that. Or a 6th and then a 4th. Try it out, experiment, get to know the scale on your own terms. Don't worry so much about hot licks or bebop vocabulary for this one. Just make some music, discover it, get lost, get found, and get tipped. Hope this makes sense. I'm a little loopy. I'm recording this late at night. I'm just trying to share with you what I can. Thanks for being part of Guitar Tips, and I'll see you next week. For Guitar Tips, I'm Adam Levy. Stay tuned and take good care.